To bootleg or not to bootleg? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobly in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. A bootleg related video, a bootleg discussion. So, as you are probably aware, I have over the past few years culminated a bit of a collection of bootlegs, primarily the Disney Plus stuff, those sort of items, those films from Disney Plus, Netflix, Apple, whatever it may be, that don't get given a physical media release. Obviously things have changed in the landscape over the past few weeks. We have notification of a release of Prey coming. Pre-orders are up for that. Best Buy exclusive, it would seem. We've also then received notification more recently of Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2. WandaVision and Loki getting steelbook releases. So the question is, do I stop bootlegging or don't I? Now I've always been one to say that when a film gets a physical release for real, and if I've bootlegged it or a TV series, I will replace it. But is that easier said than done now? Because yes, we've seen Disney now take a step back, so to speak, and release these titles here to physical media. The reason they're now releasing them to physical media is because they're essentially done and dead on streaming, as in the viewing figures have dropped off so drastically that they're not really worth their time of day on there. They don't get nothing from them in that sense, so let's try and milk a little bit more money from them by giving them a physical release. I'm still concerned because Disney, I don't know, Disney are in flux. It feels like Disney are in flux and that Disney don't actually know what they want or what they're doing with regards to this stuff. Case in point, as I'd done as a video before, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Rumour has it, and I say rumour, speculation, conjecture, whatever you may want to call it, that there isn't a physical release coming, that it is going straight to the streaming site, and that's it. That's it. Now, feasibly, it could be a case of they've stretched out the release massively. Now, when Disney, we have seen changes along the way from Disney Plus. So what used to happen is you'd get a release on Disney Plus and a physical release all within a couple of days of one another. They've since stretched that out for the bigger releases. You get the streaming release, and then maybe a month later you now get the physical release. We're starting to see that happen because Disney still want to stretch them apart so that you go in for the streaming first. They don't care what happens with the physical side of it. They don't care about dwindling sales in that aspect. So the question is, number one, is how many of these Star Wars and Marvel releases will Disney release before they turn around and say, let's call it a day on that? Because that is inevitably what is going to happen. If anyone thinks that there will suddenly be an influx of people going out and purchasing physical media players and this sort of a thing because Disney happen to be releasing a few of their bits on physical media, that's not the case. That is not going to happen. There's not going to be a turnaround in the world of physical media where it makes that much of an impact. Yes, but it makes a lot of people happy that we are getting these releases physically, but we haven't seen no news on releases outside of these steelbook exclusives that we have seen. Not with for One Division and that. I haven't seen nothing. I've seen nothing in any other territory outside of the US. I've seen nothing here in the UK. I've seen no Amaray release for One Division or Loki or Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2. So this is what I'm saying. Are these just a limited release through one retailer or what? What is going on? So with those questions still unanswered, the question remains: do I continue to bootleg future, content that's coming? I'm talking about things like Ahsoka that's airing now, Loki season 2 when it hits, those sort of titles. I don't know what to do. Am I going to, the prospect of only steelbook availability, having to pay increased import fees from the USA and this sort of thing, risking damaged steelbooks, all that is not really. I don't. It doesn't sit right with me to be doing that for every title. It doesn't appeal to me to be doing that for every title, to be paying over the odds on import charges and all this sort of thing. So I'm sort of left up in the air as to how to proceed with certain titles. I mean, obviously there are titles outside of the Disney stuff that I know won't be getting a physical release that I'll continue bootlegging, this sort of thing. But where the Star Wars and the Disney Marvel stuff are concerned, it's a question that remains unanswered. And so the question is, to bootleg or not to bootleg? I don't know. I don't know until I still feel like Disney are not 100% invested in the physical side of it. These releases, these coming releases of Prey, of WandaVision, of Loki, etc. It feels like a half-hearted effort on the part of Disney. Kind of Disney sort of saying, look, here you go, we're giving you this. We don't really want to, but here you go, we're giving you it because we need to try and scrape a few more pennies off of this stuff. I don't know which way to turn with it. I honestly don't know. I'm lost for direction. I'm directionless in this case. But there we go. That's how I feel. Just a little quick chat about it and whether I should carry on down the bootleg route with the possibility of replacing or not. Just leave it. I don't know. I suppose time will tell. That's all I can say. Anyway, it's me done. We'll see what the future holds together.